Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a while, we talk about something else crafty, like last week with my ATC. It was a combo cross stitch paper crafting adventure, but today it is mostly pretty much just all cross stitch. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see, hit like, subscribe, feel free to ask questions. I will do my very best to answer any questions that come up. And if you're a returning friend, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I loved hearing what you were stitching on last week. Whenever you happen to stop by and visit, it was a lot of fun. And of course, if I don't know the project, I usually then go look it up, and then I see some great things that I didn't even know existed. So that's always great too. We can just inspire each other. So thank you for that. Okay, before I get to the regular stitching, well, I have two things I wanted to address, but because real life, I have three things I need to address. I was just getting ready to tape, and I was just starting to talk, and then all of a sudden this crazy loud noise was happening and kind of continued to happen. Completely threw me off. And I had no clue what it was. Well, our community here where we built our house is now completely built. There are no open lots. All the houses are done. So now they can pave the roads. And I guess right now we're in the start of the process of that. I don't know how it all works, but there's this big truck that went by one side of the road. So I know it's got to come back at some point, where he's basically making it very even and level and digging up some grass along the way. I assume everything will be picked up or whatever. I have no idea. But it was very loud and very slow moving. So he kind of hung out for a little bit. So he's gone one way. He's going to have to come down the other way, and the window's right there. So it might get a little bit loud. And if you're wearing headphones, I do apologize for that. But it's real life. So we just got to roll with it and do with it. The biggest thing is, hopefully it's not today, because they told us they'd let us know because we can't drive on it for 2 days and we'd have to move our cars. So if it's today, I might have to run out and move the cars on a different street so that I can get out of the house. But anyway, we'll tackle that bridge if we need to. So that's that. Now, two other things I wanted to tackle. First off, somebody had asked me if I could show the other patterns from the Jardin Prive. So I am stitching Spring Quaker. I didn't stitch it this week, so you won't see it. I had bought last week, I had gotten this Summer Quaker, and I had mentioned how they have all four of them showed, so you can see what's coming up. I am going to show my best. I'm going to bring it right up to the camera so that you can see. It's small, but that's, let me go all the way up. Hopefully it's focusing on it well, but those are the four different seasons. And it's being shown, if you wanted to stitch it all as one, you know, there's a little border between each one, and they're showing them in different colors, but that's what they are. I am not stitching them like that. I am stitching each of them separately. So I've got the spring on the pink, and I'm using the deep navy thread. I'm going to continue the deep navy thread, and I'm going to stitch this on this from Bestitch Me. So I think I will wait until I'm done with spring, and then I will jump into summer. So hopefully you could see what they all look like. On the website at one point, it didn't show the four. It showed kind of a blurred out, you know, it had the four listed, but it had it kind of blurred out, telling you when the next one was coming. I think the autumn one might be coming in September, but there is a little bit on the back, just not a lot to see, but they do look cute as far as I can tell. There's a little squirrel in the autumn one, and a cute little village. Oh, and a little chunky snowman and deer in the winter one, in the kind of the winterish one. So that's the Jardin Prive, and that was the four seasons for the person who asked. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to say, thank you so much for your encouragement with my artist trading cards, the ATCs. If you weren't here last week, go back, watch last week's video. And I talk about it more. This is what it looked like. And I asked if anybody would be interested in doing swaps or trades or whatever. I had lots of great interest, so thank you so much. I have never formally done, hosted, coordinated a swap of any sort. So I think that's going to be a 2023 project. But in the meantime, if anybody would like to start creating these and do a swap with me, just individually, I am up for it. I would love to do that. You can be international. I would be willing to send something to wherever you are. And yes, I know mail can take a long, long time. I'm okay with that. It's just that much sweeter when you get it in the mailbox. So no problems with that. If you would like to do a swap, reach out to me either on Instagram or Gmail, and send me an email, and we can coordinate. We can do whatever we want, theme. We can create a theme for the two of us. We can do whatever we want. The other thing I did want to say, there are no rules with ATCs. There's two rules. One, when they're an artist trading card, they must be traded or swapped, not sold. They're called something else if they're sold. So they must be traded, swapped, that kind of thing. The other thing is they're 2.5 by 3.5 size-wise. Those are the only two rules. It can be painted, watercolored, stamped, colored, however you wanted, line writing. It can be quilted. It could be paper pieced. It could be cross-stitched. You take the art medium and you create it. You could do a mini diamond painting. Whatever you really wanted to do, you could do it. So there are no rules. It doesn't have to have paper. The only thing is somehow or other you need to put your info on the back, your name, the date, if you've titled it, all that kind of stuff. And there are plenty of resources online that show you, and sometimes there's actually little sample templates if you wanted to put that on the back of your thing, however you wanted to do it. So feel free to run with any type of crafting, and I love any type of creativity. So let's run with it, whatever you want. I would most likely do them cross-stitched. If I know that one of you is a diehard paper crafter, maybe I also try some that are stamped. But since we're doing this on a cross-stitch kind of adventure, that's most likely what I would do with that. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there. For now, if you'd like to swap with me, let me know and we'll figure it out. And then in the future, maybe I could try to do a bigger swap so that we can all kind of trade with each other. All right, so let's get going now with the stitching. I have no new projects except for very, very mini starts, 2 starts and finishes. No ATCs this week. It's all just stitching. There is a tiny mini one that could have been, but I finished it a different way. And other than that, it's projects that you have seen, some big, some little. So let's get going. So the first one is Northern Lights, and make sure I get this right. I think it's 2x2 stitch art, right? Yes. And they're having a sale for 8 more hours. And it is 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on the 22nd of July. But anyway, 2x2 stitch art. That's what the final project will look like. This pattern was picked out by Connor originally, and he tried it over Christmas and he just ran out of time. Obviously during school, he's in college. It wasn't something that he could really do. I started at the same time. I enjoyed stitching it. So I said to him, if you never finish yours, if you want the one I'm stitching, you're fine. Go for it. And we'll figure out how to finish it when I'm done. So I got good progress. So that's what it looks like. And yes, I've jumped all over the place. There's a big blob there, there, and there. The majority of this week's stitching was all black. That's all black right there. So I did all of that. I also started to come in here. I got a little, there's more black and then some other colors mixed in. I got a little tired of it. So I came in here and I did some chunks right there. This is just an 18 count white Aida. I have no idea what Aida. It's the thickest Aida I have ever used. So it's funny when I go from this to another project, because then the fabric feels so much thinner than this one, but I'm enjoying it. I love the colors. There's multiple, some of these teals and these blues, it's probably 4 or 5 shades of these colors so that you get all of the different variety. So I'm almost there. I started this over his Christmas break, probably, I don't know if it was after Christmas this past year. My goal would be to get it done within a year, but I think I might even start putting this as a strand a day project, 1 strand a day, 2 strand a day, and just keep at it until I'm finished. I think if I did it consistently, 1 strand or 2 strand a day, I really do think I could get this one done sooner rather than later. They're not as, here it does between the trees and the colors up here and here, it does get a little bit less blocky, but, and I want to say, well, this is all one, no, well, that's between 2 pages. I don't know, there might be some page breaks, which is obviously the hardest part in some cases, but I think I could do it. So I do think you might see this one on a regular basis where I would just put in a strand, if I had time to, a day and see where I could get with it. So that's Northern Lights 2x2 stitch art. Okay. Next is the, let me pull it out here, last week's concentrated full coverage piece. So I did a little bit last week, a couple days worth, and now I did until Tuesday, I did some more, and it was Mini Sunflower Cottage by Heaven and Earth. It's charted by Heaven and Earth, and the artist is Dona Gelsinger. I am doing the mini version. I know there is a stitch along for this, and I have no idea what the hashtag is. It could be as easy as Sunflower Cottage, SAL. I'd have to look that up. Besides myself, I know for a fact Lynette Peters is stitching this, and she is pretty much in the same spot I am. We are up in this top corner, and here we go. Let me fold this part over. So this is, I'm excited because I am past the halfway mark up top. So we are most definitely getting to a point where I won't be able to fold it anymore, and it'll be all the way across on the top. But that's what we have. So last week when I talked about this project, I said, oh, there's some pinks and I'm excited to get into color. And then I got distracted and I said, oh, there's the halfway mark. Let's start stitching this way. So I stitched this way. I did a little bit of some other colors here and some other fill in here and there. So I didn't actually get to the other colors here. I did very little down here, to be honest with you. That's why I don't try to tell myself I'm going to make this plan or that plan, because then I just go off on a tangent. All my full coverage are 18 count white Aida at the moment, and I do 2 strands over 1, and I do full crosses. So this one and the other full coverage you'll see exact same way I'm doing them. So this one is Mini Sunflower Cottage, Heaven and Earth design, Dona Gelsinger. She has some beautiful patterns, really, really beautiful patterns. I really enjoy looking at her work. Okay. Next, I don't need my iPad for this one. This is my ongoing project. I'm really proud of myself, I have to say. I have been keeping up with this, and now we're at a point where we're 2/3 done. So if I just keep up with this, I could definitely see, I could see the pieces done by Halloween. It's Halloween calendar, and it is from Tiny Modernist. And this week, we focused on this little girl right here, which, number 21, day 21. And as usual, I'm doing them all singly, and I'm doing them, let me fold over. See, I rotate which fabric. So this one has day 13, day 17, and day 21 on it. This is Haunting. It's an 18 count by Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a beautiful, beautiful gray with some purple. Well, I might say purple with some gray, to be honest with you. If I was to look, it's tough. In the light, it kind of depends on which way you look at it, with just some, very light, almost white patches, but not anything you can see. Not anything major, small. So let me fold over day 13. And isn't that adorable? Now, for example, if you wanted to stitch an artist trading card, something like this, any of these, most especially this because they have dedicated sizes, any of these would work because they are within, well, I guess it would depend on what count fabric you used, because then obviously you count the squares for the 2.5 by 3.5. But I know on 18 count, any of these would work. They're small enough for it. And something like this, I mean, you could, don't do the number obviously, but you could have a lot of fun and add some more eyeballs and just have one that's all black fabric and just a lot of fun. So look at your patterns in a different way, pick and choose. So anyway, that's what it looks like. Lots of color changes. So I did, as usual, I've been spreading these out over a few days. So this way I don't get quite burnt out on all the color changes. I pick a color or two or a part or two to do, and then I put it down for the next day. So next we have this day 22 chandelier. So that'll be the next one. I think the next color coming up is the kind of the denimish blue. I think it's called, what's it, Midnight Tryst, if I remember correctly. But so, and I do rotate pretty much the colors evenly between the days, throwing in some ones on black fabric. So that's our goal for next week, is day 22. And I have said this, the final finished product, I don't have 100% set, whether it would be like ornament size or banner or what I might do. I don't know yet with it, some sort of countdown or just putting them all out, but they're numbered. That part's a little fuzzy. I haven't really figured that out. Right now, I just want to get them stitched. And then once I have them all, I think that would be easier for me to make a final decision when they're all done. Okay. I could just throw this on the floor. I've been throwing it on the table there. All right, next. Back to my digitals. So I had not stitched on this, certainly not the last time I saw you. Maybe the week before that. I don't know about the rest of you, but these weeks are blending in. They're blending in way too much. And okay, I can figure out the day by, okay, for example, I know Fridays are filming day, and I know Wednesdays are garbage day, and I can figure out some days. But the date, forget it, because I have no reason ever to write the date generally. So I don't have no clue what date it is on any given time. But this time around, I wanted to pull back out Serena Sprout from Autumn Lane Stitchery. As you'll see, their model mock-up, they did have it stitched on a colored fabric. They used Friendship Green by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I went a little bit brighter on my green. And look where she is. So I actually broke this up into a couple days. I had done down here, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to do because there's the whole batch there's a big chunk of kind of green and flowery down here. But a lot of that was coming off of the dress, and I really wanted to do the dress. So the first day that I stitched on it, I did a lot, finished up some of her hair. I did a lot around her waist. I have a little bit more fill-in to do. And then I had done some good stitching. And then yesterday afternoon, I didn't know what I wanted to pick out to stitch. So I grabbed this. And I did a nice chunk of the dress. I love the colors in the dress. It's beautiful. There is a hashtag for this. It's hashtag Serena Sprout, SAL. So if you look on Instagram under that hashtag, you'll find like one post from me because I never post. But there are some great other posts from people, updates, some different colors of fabric, lots of fun. So if you want to see different ways and different parts of her being stitched at the moment, I would check out that. But this was a big chunk, so I'll probably finish the dress and come down, then work my way back this way. And then I have a whole bunch, let me see, looking at it, I have a whole giant flower over here. And then you get really the reds, the pinks. I can't wait. Those are gonna be beautiful, beautiful colors. So did I say 18 count Honeydew Melon? and that's from To Die For Fabrics. And I love it. I love this color. I think it's beautiful, and it works perfectly with all of these colors of floss. So that's where that is. Oh, excuse me. I should have brought my water over. I'll be talking after a while. Your throat gets dry. Okay, next. I have a teeny tiny project for you. Last week, you know, I had stitched this, and it had come out of this book, Sand, Sea, and Cross Stitch. The book is by Anna Field, right there. That's what the book looks like. And what I did was I took the Adirondack chair from this monthly, and I did it twice. I don't even know what color they used there. I don't think I even looked. I just picked a blue and a green that I wanted to. But I also really liked, if you look here, they did it teeny tiny on like a canvas bag. And I loved the look of the red Adirondack chair. So I said, I'm gonna stitch that again. And I did. And this one I wanted to stitch it and finish it as like a little finish rather than another artist trading card. So what I did was I put it in a little frame. So let me pull this up. So that's what it looks like. I put 2 of the chairs. I stitched 2 of the Adirondack chairs. They're stitched on 18 count Nantucket Sky by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I used just 321. I just picked kind of one of those nice bright reds that you like to pick. And then what I did was, I originally had found this, and I'm going to show you what I bought. I'd found these at Michael's. I was thinking about them for if I wanted to display the artist trading cards. They're a little bit too small though, because they're 2 by 3, and the artist cards are 2.5 by 3.5. But I thought, how cute. They come in a pack of 4. How cute would this be for just other little finishes, so on and so forth. And it was buy one, get one. I don't know if it was free or half off. I'm not sure. I think the set of 4 was $7.99 regular price. And then of course, depending if you have a coupon or if there's a sale or whatever. So I pulled out, I had bought 2 packages. So I pulled out one that came from that other package that I had opened to make this finish. And it comes with, I don't know, I don't think it's glass. It's actually just, I think, kind of not a plexiglass-ish, but something between a plastic and a glass. So what I did was I actually finished, I didn't need the glass on it, but as you can see, there is no glass here. So what I did was I wrapped my piece, this was my mounting board. So I wrapped the stitching around this, I adhered it to this, and then like any other frame, then I just stuck it in and it was good to go. I think I had gotten that from Carla Being Crafty. Carla, I think you do that, right? Sometimes you wrap your stuff around the glass and use that as your mounting board. I'm pretty sure that's where I had seen that idea. I did not come up with it myself. But I liked it. I liked that idea. I felt like I didn't need glass. I thought this was just really cute. And so super cute little tiny finish. And we're good. So now that one right now, you know, because I have this on a little, what are they, easels? Little easels, or I'm not sure what they're exactly called. So right now I just have this one and then this one next to each other on one of my drawer sets from IKEA. So that I started it, finished it, and fully finished it with just a cute little frame. Okay, so let's put the book, I'm actually gonna put the book over here so I know where it is. I would put it somewhere else and then I couldn't find it this morning. So I was looking all around. Do you do that? You put things in safe places and then you can't find them? It's me all the time. Okay, next. This one is one that I started probably maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I'm not 100% sure. A couple weeks ago. It's Spring Birds by Cottage Needleworks. It's the second time I'm giving it any kind of stitching love. Super cute. If you'd like to see somebody else stitching it, Mandy from Mandy Parker is also stitching it. Mandy recently did a whip parade and she showed this piece. It's super cute. She is choosing all her own flosses, if I remember correctly, from what she has in stash. Now, I am using the called for, except I changed the white out to be 5200, and instead of 469 up here for the green border, I am using 986, right? Yes, 986. So let me fold this twice because it's a small little piece at the moment. Oh, it's not going to be a big piece anyway, but there. Oh, it's a very pretty blue. Let me hold it back for a second. So that's the blue. It's an 18 count Spacious Skies from Color and Cotton. It's a very pretty light blue, but let's come on up for now. So it's going to potentially wash it out. The white itself is not really popping on the blue, but I said last time I stitched this, I'm okay with that. That is a secondary piece of the pattern, and when it's all done, you'll notice it. So I'm not really worried about that. I finished the little bird, except the bird needs an eye, but all the other parts of it are done. I did this piece right here, and then I did the start of this little birdhouse as well. There's a lot of fun, pretty colors with the blues and the yellows and the pinks, so it's a lot of fun to stitch it. I just didn't feel like doing any, actually, and I did a bunch of white too. I didn't feel like doing any more border, so that's why I ended up doing all of the stuff inside. So there we go. That is Spring Birds Country Cottage Needleworks. It's a super cute pattern. It's, you know, along the same lines as a lot of the Country Cottage, so it's a pretty easy stitch if you're interested. It's just a lot of fun with the colors too. So there we go. All right, I'm just gonna throw this on the floor instead, because if I throw it over there, that might just completely fall over. It's possible. Okay, now, on Wednesday, I pulled out a new full coverage piece. I'm telling you, it's hard to decide which one because I love them all. But I just love this one so much that I said I needed to stitch on her a little bit more. And it is Mini Paris Morning. Not that I'm anywhere near her, from Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artist is Uliana Babenko. And you know, it's this little doggy that is my absolute favorite part of the piece. Reminds me of Shamrock, including the begging. And I know this artist has other pieces with the dog as well, so that's a lot of fun. Because, you know, I'll just get them all and then thinking, oh yeah, I can stitch them all. I'm not sure with what time, because it's not like I don't have all these other full pieces started already. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And yes, I am still in that upper left corner. But, you know, every time I pick it up, it's just a little bit extra done, right? I think I got about 400 or 500 stitches in over the last couple days. I usually just give this an hour or two when I can, here or there. So that's where we are. I did a combo. I really wanted to get into, over here, a whole bunch of blues and lavendery blues. So I did a little bit there. And then I said, oh, I probably should start finishing. I'd like to finish the curtain, because I'm almost done with the curtain. And the biggest confetti heavy, from what it looks like a lot, is this area in the glass with the leaves. There are other chunks that, once I get that done, so what I do is I take a little bit, and if I find a symbol, and then I do a little bit of that symbol somewhere, and then I do a chunk of color, or a strand of something that can do whatever, and I go back and forth. So you'll see me hop around, and this may take a little while to get done, just because I go back and forth with it, but that's what works for me. So like I said, 18 count white Aida, 2 strands, over 1, full cross. So what will I do? I know I want to finish this part of the curtain. It's angling in now. It's really just about done, somewhere around there. And then I will start to in and out tackle some of the confetti there. And then I'm not sure if I will continue in this part, go this way. I don't know. We'll see. That part's the surprise for next time, for our next visit. But I love the colors. It's so pretty. You'll see here, you get a lot of vibrant colors coming up yet. Oops, if I go this way so we can see it better. Lots of vibrant colors to come. So I'm enjoying this one a lot. And I said, oh, maybe I should work on XYZ project. And then I saw this. I said, nope, I want to do this one with its colors. So that's the one I'm doing. All right, so we put this here. And then I have one more piece. And I am so happy I chose this fabric. It's looking great. I'm really, really liking it. I'm talking about Sailing Dreams from Barbara Anna Designs. If you are a new friend and you really haven't hung out with me much before, while I can appreciate the beauty of pieces on neutrals, and in fact, I'm going to show you something coming up that I think I've chosen fabric for, which most people would call it as a neutral. I choose fabrics to go with the theme of a piece as well as the flosses that I see. And if I can add color to the background to flesh out the project, that's what I do. So I immediately love this piece. I just wanted to do it on something a little bit different than what it's done on here. And that's what I did. Okay, a lot different. Look. So this is 18 count Night Fever from Fortnight Fabrics. And I ended up, so first off, I think I finished one of these blue swirls. I can't remember which one. I did a little bit more of the clouds and the birds. Now those are very light on here. You can see them better in person, I think. But again, they're secondary. I want her. I want that part of it to be what draws your eye. The other is just accessories. So I don't want them to pop on this fabric. I want them to a little bit blend. And then I continued down here, and this was the big chunk of what I did. And I was a little worried because the first yellow I did, I think I had done a tiny bit of it last week, or last time you saw this. I'm not 100% sure. That yellow on its own in a very small chunk kind of blended in more than I wanted to for that part of the project, for that element. But there are different color yellows, and then obviously the kind of the burnt oranges and siennas type of thing. And when they all come together, I love it on this fabric. Even over here, the sun, even though that's the lighter of the yellow, I think all of it as a group will look really great on this fabric in the end. So I am so happy I chose this. Like I've said before, you know, when I do things that are beachy or nautical, one of my first go-tos are blues. I love blue. But there was too much blue here, and I didn't feel like I could do the blue justice. So I immediately went to sunrise, sunset colors, where you really think of summer and, you know, that crazy reds and orange skies and just that beautiful look to the sky. And that's what I wanted. And I went with that. And that's the feeling I wanted to evoke with this one. So I love this. Love, love, love this. It was a tough toss-up between this one and Serena yesterday. Serena ended up calling to me just a bit more, but after doing this part, I love it so much. I can't wait to get back to it. I don't know if I'll do it this week or which one or how, because you know I love all my projects, so I like to rotate them. But now that I've done this, I feel a lot better about my fabric choice with the yellows, and I think it's really gonna come out great. So that's that. That is Sailing Dreams, Barbara Anna Designs. And that's my stitching for the week. I got a lot accomplished, I think. Plan-wise, I showed you that yellow to go with the summer Quaker, which, again, I'll do the spring Quaker first. And then here was another pattern that I really loved. I had talked about it, mentioned it, but I don't know if I'd shown it since I had gotten it. It's the Signs series. This is Summer from Twin Peak Primitives. So isn't that cute? Now, I originally thought that I would try, because if you see here, it's a little peachy. I would try some of my peaches. And unfortunately, there's a couple colors of floss that the peach might be a little bit too peach to go with that kind of fabric. So I went with something that is, it's a neutral, but it's a beachy neutral. This is called Caramel Macchiato, and it is by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I think these colors are gonna look great on it. I actually, some of these are more modeled than others, so I might find a spot. I don't know if this one is. Let's see. Let's pull it apart a little bit and hold it up. There's different spots that are a little bit differently modeled, so I'll find where I want to do it, and depends on the size of the piece, whether or not I can do up and down like this or what. But I think that this will go nicely with this. And so I'm thinking summer, I'm thinking sand, I'm thinking beach, and that's what I'm going. Again, there's that whole blue segment, so there's no way I would do a blue with this one. So that's caramel macchiato. What do you think? I think it'll work. I did throw the flosses on it, and it looked like the flosses would work just fine with it. So let me just attach this back real quick. It's not the way I normally do it, but it'll be fine. Especially if I pick this one up soon. It doesn't really matter if it's done perfectly. Okay, so that is something that you may see in the nearer future rather than the later future. And really, other than that, for plans, you know, it's really up in the air. I love my projects. Ooh, I suppose I should have ironed my top when I was ironing my projects. I do. I iron my cross stitch more than I iron my clothes. But yeah, I like all my projects. I'm enjoying them, and I have enough to rotate that. We'll see. We'll see what you see next week. There's lots of them I could sit there and just stitch straight through, but then I like so many of them that I wouldn't want to do that. And I like the variety. I do have to say I do like that. Shopping. The only shopping I have to show you, last Friday, I think I had told you that there was a Heaven and Earth design sale. It was a birthday sale for Michelle, right? She's the owner of Heaven and Earth. And 50% off. I don't need more Heaven and Earth patterns, but you know, hey, they were on sale, so I picked up 3. And the minis, when you pick up a mini at 50% off, that's $6 for this. It's still a giant piece of pattern. So it's a sale price that I can't not. So, you know, I'm doing Hidden Harbor by Andy Russell, and I love that one and the colors so much. I picked up this one. It's called Night Lights. Isn't that pretty? I love that deep dark sky and then all the other colors. It is not a mini, but regular size, it is 450 by 335. So it's not a huge regular size one. So I did pick up that, and then I picked up 2 minis. Now I was torn, and I bet you I'll get the other one too, as well. The artist here is Jim Warren, and I picked up mini All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. I love both of them. There's version number 1 and there's version number 2 of All Dogs Go to Heaven. The background's a little bit different. There's dogs in the sky designed there as opposed to more colors, and I think less dogs down here. What really drew me to this one though, and it's gonna be blurry, there is a little running white dog right here. And when Shamrock ran and he would bound around the yard and stuff, that's what he looked like. So as soon as I saw that, I loved it. Now, All Dogs Go to Heaven 1 has a little doggy that reminds me of Shamrock sitting in the front. So I may get that at some point, next sale maybe, but I chose this one out of the 2. And then the last one that I picked, whoa, X out of that for a second. I need to see the artist, is Genovia Art. It's a mini. It's a long mini as opposed to, so it'll be skinnier and longer. Mini Magic Autumn. Look at those colors. I love autumn colors. I really do. And I love, it's the gradation here. So you go from the reds to the oranges to the yellows to the greens. So it is a complete rainbow. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I picked that one up as well. So those 3 pieces I picked up in last week's Heaven and Earth. So, and that was it. That was all the shopping I have to show you. So that's good, because at this point, we might actually come in under an hour for a video. Although if you had a big project you were stitching on, maybe you want me to talk more than an hour. Giveaways. Let's talk giveaways. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. The blue bowl, the infamous blue bowl. So this week's giveaway, and it is still in the package because it's the full kit, it's Jim Shore by Mill Hill, and it's 2016 Candy Cane Santa. So that's what he looks like. It's got everything in there. And if you see this, those are just other kits in the series, but they're not all Santas, it looks like. There's some snowmen too. But it's super cute, really nice, everything with it. And I don't remember what I asked you to say. Oh, beads, whatever you wanted to say. I don't know. I picked the names. I did that part. Anyway, let's see who's going to win that one. This one. With anything with the giveaways, remember that if I call your name and it is something that I need to mail, if you could just give me your mailing address through either Gmail, which is listed down below, or Instagram, listed down below, send me a message, and I can send it out to you. And as always too, please get back to me within 2 weeks. So I give you a video and then a reminder video if I don't hear, because sometimes you're on vacation or whatever. I get it. But after that, then I pick a new name, because I would have stuff all over the place otherwise. Okay, I've mixed these up enough now. Now we separate out the name, put this with this, and who wins? Justine Dowell. Congratulations, Justine. Make sure I say it right. You have won the Mill Hill Candy Cane Santa kit. So if you could get back to me with your address, I will send that out to you. Okay, so I'm going to put that, I'll put it right here for now. And I'll keep your name with it so that we don't lose that. And then I keep the names separate so that if I have to re-choose, I can do that easily. Now, this week, okay, this is my dance. This is my dance. And this morning it happened. I was thinking for sure, okay, we're not doing the special giveaway this week, because I checked yesterday and it was at $2,999. $2,999. It could be, when I checked this morning, it was 3,000. Somebody's probably unsubscribed by now and I could be back at $2,999, but I'm going with it. 3,000 subscribers. Happy dance. Thank you so much, all of you, my friends. I so appreciate you taking the time to subscribe and all of that good stuff, and hang out with me. I mean, that's the most important part. But I want to thank you. So this week we have 3 giveaways for 3,000 subscribers. The rules, which I don't always state, but I do want to make sure, please be 18 or older, right, with the giveaway. Don't say giveaway, don't say free. Most of you are pretty smart and savvy with that. I very rarely have to check. What I do is I've got those words flagged. So then I just have to check in the flag section. But I can't, I very, very rarely, I think giveaway is the one I flag. I very rarely have noticed that the comments are over there. And please be a subscriber. Obviously, these giveaways are generally because I'm thankful for you for subscribing. Now, having said that, you don't have to be a public subscriber. We're adults here. I'm taking your word for it. I don't need to find your name. I don't need to check all that stuff. I believe in your honesty, and you know, just I'd appreciate you being a subscriber. That's really all it comes down to. And if you need to keep things private, I am absolutely a-okay with that. So for 3,000, we have 3 giveaways, and these are going to be easy this week. So there's no mailing for this. You're going to say either 1, 2, or 3. You can say 1, 2, and 3, but what I will do is if you won one and then your name gets picked farther along, well, first you need to go buy a lottery ticket because you're very lucky. I will just, whichever is the first one you win is the one you've won. I know that, some people are, and it's a good argument. Why should you not get 2 if you've won them? But I really do want to share this with 3 different people this time, because I am very grateful for each and every one of you who has hit subscribe. So that's why I'm doing it that way. 1, 2, 3. Just put the numerical, you don't have to spell it out or anything, somewhere in your comment, however you want to do it. I have no idea. I do it. I don't do comment picker. I don't know if it matters whether there's a comma between them, a space, or I don't know about that. I guess we'll just find it out. I have a feeling we're going to have big things in the blue bowls, because I think these are exciting giveaways. Okay, so for number 1, if you want the first giveaway, the first one is a heaven and earth pattern of your design. You choose it, you tell me what you want, and I will buy it for you. Now, I will buy you now. I mean, the sales are over, whatever. If for some reason you wanted to wait for a sale, I'll buy you 2. It doesn't really matter. But if you want something that you've got your eye on right now, right away, then you will get a heaven and earth of your design, whether it's a regular size or a mini. Just the pattern, no kits, no full things, obviously. It's just the pattern itself. So that's number 1. Number 2, if you put the number 2 in, your name will get listed in the blue bowl for a $25 gift certificate to Annabella's. Annabella's is an Etsy shop. She has a ton of patterns, including some now that she herself designs, as well as all sorts of other things. I think you could easily be able to spend $25 at that shop without a problem. It's a really good one. Elaine is the owner of Annabella's. She actually does have a Flosstube herself. They usually come out on Fridays, so it's probably already out, because she must film either really early or the day before, because hers are out way before mine. And I want to say, look for Annabella's and you'd be able to find it. She's really fun to watch. But that's number 2. Number 3, if you put the number 3 in there, you'll get a $20 gift certificate to 123 Stitch. So we have a heaven and earth pattern of your choice, a $25 gift certificate to Annabella's, and a $20 gift certificate to 123 Stitch. I figure that's a good variety, lots of things for anybody to be able to pick up. So that's that. That's my giveaway. So thank you so much again. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hit that subscribe button. Okay, that's the stitching. And look at that. Yeah, the stitching came in less than an hour today. I must not have chatted about my projects as much. Life stuff. What's happening with life? Yesterday was Mo's birthday. So he worked. It wasn't anything. Megan called last night. She's like, what'd you do for your birthday? And he's like, well, I worked and I had physical therapy. So that was exciting. I asked him what he wanted for his birthday. I'd cook him whatever he wanted. And originally he said, let's do scrambled tofu. And I make roasted potatoes with it. And, we make some guac that goes on the scrambled tofu and all that. It's delicious. But yesterday it was 93 with a dew point of 77. So they said that basically made it feel like it was 108 outside. I said to Mo, there's no way I can have that oven going for 45 minutes for those potatoes. And then the scrambled tofu, by the time I do the vegetables, and then you add the tofu, and then I'd be standing over the stove for quite some time. I said, it's really, really hot. And he was fine with it. So I made this really good, I have a vegan Asian cookbook. And so I had the tofu. I found a really great sauce with it. So very lightly fried the tofu and then tossed it in the sauce. And he loved it. So that worked for his birthday. And Connor, after work, Connor had to work. So after work, he ran to the grocery store and got him some ice cream as a birthday present. Good, this weather. So scrambled tofu will be tonight's dinner, I think, as long, again, as it's not crazy. I think it's hot again, but we might just do it and just get it done. I said I should do it for lunch when it's not as hot. But yeah, so that was his birthday. Obviously, right now, he's still on the crutches and in the boot, so we're not really doing much. But physical therapy is coming along, and he's feeling okay. He has never had a lot of pain, even right after surgery. So that's been very fortunate. even when he did it, it wasn't extremely painful. So he's been very, very fortunate with that. So that was our big adventure this week, was his birthday. And again, I knew, okay, what day, but then I kind of forgot what date it was. And, then I'm kind of like, oh yeah, it's his birthday. And then I'm texting the kids to remind them, because their heads are sometimes in the clouds when it comes to all that. And so, we're all just completely clueless as to what day it is at any given time. It's still really, 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 really warm here. This week has been excessive with the dew points, which makes it crazy hot. It's really funny because I saw the chart, and when you get to like 73 to 76, they call it oppressive, and then higher than that they call miserable. I kind of feel like oppressive would be worse than miserable. I'm not sure how that one's the worst of the all, but we are in the miserable category apparently. And I want to say we did have a thunderstorm last night, and it did initially cool it off. It was like in the 70s at that point then, but sun's out, and we needed that rain, so that was good. But sun's out and it is crazy warm again. So we are blessed to have air conditioning, because those of you who don't, I'm thinking about you. I find it warm sometimes even with the air conditioning. So for you all, any of you who are somewhere where maybe it doesn't normally get that hot, or you just don't have air conditioning, I'm thinking about you, and I'm really, really hoping that you stay as cool as possible and don't suffer any ill effects from the heat, because that's no joke. So take care of yourself really with that. For the weekend, I don't think we have much really planned, to be honest with you. I guess it kind of depends on if they're paving out there. We got to get those cars out, otherwise we're stuck home and we're doing nothing. Maybe stitching. Oh, this weekend is 24 hours of cross stitch. I don't have a plan necessarily. I get in maybe 12 hours if you combine Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's about a 12-hour stretch that I might 10 to 12 hours, I think. I can usually pull out of all of that. So maybe I'll kind of try something along those lines. If you're doing 24 hours of cross stitch, tell me, are you doing all 24 hours? Are you team sleep, team no sleep? I'm team sleep, even though I don't really sleep. Do you have a specific, some people are doing a project an hour, or I'd love to hear what your plans are with that. Again, I'll just kind of be pseudo doing it on the background, on the periphery, but that's not something that I hadn't realized it until about 2 days ago that it was this weekend. So we're winging it like I wing everything else that goes on with stitching and everything else right now, it feels like. But that's it. If you are interested in doing any sort of swap with me, reach out with that. Stay cool if it is really hot where you are, and please stay warm if it's really cold where you are right now. I know we have friends all over the world, which is so cool. So I know some of you are in completely different seasons than me. I hope you are safe. Please stay safe out there. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're getting some stitching in, or life is at a really good point for you right now. And if it is a struggle at the moment, I'm here for you, and I'm thinking of you. And if I can help in it, there's not a lot I can do, but I would be, if you just need somebody to say hey to, reach out. 2022 has been a struggle for us here, and I know how sometimes that can seem so overwhelming. And I've heard some others who have had a tough 2022. So I'm here, and I'm always thinking about you. And if I can help in any way, I'd be happy to. And that's about it. So get lots of stitching in. If you're 24 hours of stitching it this weekend, let me know. And I hope life's going well. Until next time, happy stitching.